In the infinite beginning, before time had even been given a name, and before the stars had found their places to shine in the sky, there was only a vast and endless void of complete, silent nothingness waiting for a spark. Within this deep and silent emptiness, the presence of the divine existed, infinite and all-powerful, watching over the formless dark that stretched out forever across the unexplored reaches of the cold, dark universe. Then, the silence was broken as the Almighty spoke the first words ever to be uttered in existence. "Let there be light." And in that miraculous moment, light burst forth in a magnificent and blinding brilliance. In a sudden instant, the void trembled under the power of the command, and light exploded into existence with a roar of energy, chasing away the formless emptiness that had ruled the universe for so long. For the very first time, there was a profound difference in the world. A beautiful contrast was born between the deep darkness and the new brilliance. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. On the second day of this grand design, God spoke again, and the waters obeyed his voice. He separated the waters that were below from the waters that were above, creating a clear and vast blue expansion. God commanded that there be a space between the waters to separate the waters of the heavens from the waters of the earth. And so, the magnificent sky was born, stretching out over the young, watery world. Then he shaped the atmosphere, creating an invisible shield of air and protection for the world to come. The earth was no longer just a formless mass. Creation was steadily taking a new and solid shape. Every movement was building toward something far greater than any eye could see, and yet the Creator was not finished with his work. The foundation was set, but the beauty of the world was only beginning. Then came the third day, and God commanded, "Let the water beneath the sky flow together in one place, so that dry land may appear." At his mighty word, the waters stirred and began to retreat in waves. From beneath the depths, mountains rose majestically toward the heavens. Valleys sank deep into the earth, and the seas found their boundaries, crashing against the newly formed shores of the world. But the land was still bare and silent, waiting for life. God said, "Let the earth bring forth vegetation." Then life began as God commanded the earth to sprout every kind of plant and green living thing. The barren ground awakened as rich green tendrils pushed through the moist soil, stretching eagerly toward the sky. Trees unfurled their branches as if tasting the fresh air for the very first time. For the first time, the world breathed with the scent of flowers and leaves, and God looked upon his creation and saw that it was good. The vibrant colors of the flora painted the world in beauty. On the fourth day, as the earth stood beneath the vast sky, God noticed something was missing in the heavens. He said, "Let light appear in the sky to give light to the world and mark the seasons." Suddenly, a blaze erupted in the eastern horizon, golden and fierce. God made the sun, breathing fire into the sky to rule the day. But as the sun began to set, the darkness started to creep back in. From the depths of the darkening sky, a soft silver glow emerged as the moon took its place to guard the night. Then, one by one, the stars ignited, scattering like diamonds across an infinite canvas. God made the sun to rule the day with untamed brilliance, while the moon and the stars were set to watch over the quiet night. The heavens were now filled with lights that would guide the world forever. Then came the fifth day, and the silent waters of the deep began to stir with movement. God commanded, "Let the fish fill the seas, and let the birds multiply across the earth and the open heavens." At God's command, the deep oceans erupted with life, giving birth to creatures of every kind. Mighty leviathans glided through the abyss, while sleek fish shimmered in silver schools, moving as one. Jellyfish pulsed through the water like floating lanterns, and coral reefs bloomed in an explosion of color, painting the ocean floor in shades never seen before the dawn of this magnificent creation. But the waters were not alone in their awakening. Above the surface, the skies burst into motion as the first birds took flight. Eagles soared high, their cries echoing across the vast and empty heavens. Small sparrows zipped through the branches of the new trees, moving with the wind like a gentle song. The sky and the sea had finally found their voices, filling the world with the sounds of life. On the sixth day, at God's command, life erupted in endless variety across the dry land. He created the animals of the earth, from the smallest crawling insect to the largest and mightiest of beasts. Mighty lions stretched their golden manes and roared for the very first time. Elephants, vast and towering, stepped onto the earth, their heavy footsteps shaking the ground with their immense power. Deer began leaping gracefully through the deep forests, and rabbits darted between the tall grasses. Beneath them, ants marched with purpose while lizards basked in the warmth of the new sun. Butterflies danced in the breeze like living petals. But even with all this life, creation was not yet complete. God was about to shape his masterpiece. Let's make man in our own image. From the dust of the earth, he began to form man carefully and with great intention. He sculpted every detail of the body until the form was perfect, yet remained still and lifeless on the ground. Then God leaned down and breathed the breath of life into the man's nostrils. The man's eyes opened, filled with the light of life itself. He had been made in the very image of his Creator. As the man stood up and took his first breath, all of creation seemed to stand still with him. It was complete. God saw everything he had made, and behold, it was very good and truly perfect. Then on the seventh day, God rested, not because he was exhausted, for the Almighty does not grow weary, but because of the completion of his work. Everything was exactly as it should be. He blessed this seventh day, set it apart from all others, and made it holy. The first week of existence had ended, but the grand story of the world and of mankind had only just begun. The world was a garden of peace, a sanctuary of life where the Creator and His creation walked together. It was a time of perfect harmony before the shadows of the future had ever been cast. The stars continued to twinkle, the oceans continued to pulse, and the first man looked out over the horizon with a heart full of wonder, ready to begin the journey of life in the Father's world. Every mountain peak, every deep valley, and every living soul bore the mark of the divine craftsman. The silence of the void was gone, replaced by the symphony of a living, breathing universe. This was the dawn of history, the birth of all things seen and unseen, crafted by the hand of love and the power of the spoken word. The light had won, and the world was finally alive. As the sun set on that first holy Sabbath, the peace of God rested over the hills and the valleys. There was no pain, no sorrow, only the beauty of a new beginning under the watchful eye of God. The lions laid down in the grass.
Your creation is
The
truly
eagles
magnificent.
nested in the high rocks.
I am so grateful.
And the man walked through the cool of
Look
the
at how
day,
it shines.
speaking to the one
Your
who had
creation
given
is
him
truly
life and
magnificent.
a world to call
I
home.
am so grateful.
The story of creation is a reminder that we are not here by accident, but by design. Every detail of our world was thought of and spoken into being by a creator who saw that it was good. From the smallest atom to the largest galaxy, the signature of the divine is written in the fabric of existence. The 7 days were just the start of an eternal relationship between God and man. In the quiet of the garden, the dew settled on the leaves like liquid diamonds. Everything was pristine, untouched by decay or the passage of time, shimmering with a pure and holy light. Adam looked at his hands, moving his fingers with a sense of discovery. He felt the warmth of the sun on his skin and the soft texture of the grass beneath his feet for the very first time. He listened to the distant roar of a waterfall and the rhythmic chirping of crickets in the undergrowth. Every sense was a new gateway to understanding the magnificent world he now inhabited. The wind whispered through the ancient trees, carrying the scent of jasmine and ripening fruit. It was a world of abundance, where every need was met before it was even felt by the living soul. God's voice was not a thunderous terror, but a gentle presence that walked in the garden. There was a friendship there, a bond between the maker and the made that defined the purpose of life. The animals did not fear the man, nor did they fear each other. The wolf and the lamb grazed in the same meadow, and the leopard rested beside the kid in a state of perfect natural peace. Every sunrise was a celebration of the light that had first broken the darkness. Every sunset was a testament to the order and the rhythm that God had established within the turning of the spheres. The moon reflected the glory of a sun it did not possess, just as creation reflected the glory of a creator it could not fully contain. The harmony of the universe was a song without words. As the days turned into weeks, the man began to name the creatures, observing their beauty and their unique traits. He saw the wisdom of God in the trunk of the elephant and the wing of the bee. There was a deep logic to the world, a mathematical beauty in the petals of a flower and the spiral of a shell. God had not just made a world. He had crafted a masterpiece of engineering and art.